Welcome friends. Today we are having a quick coffee chat and I'm going to show you my espresso maker that I got. I had a request or two to share this one with you guys, so I'm actually going to include that footage that I've already filmed on the end of this little chat so that you guys can check it out, see the accessories that I got to go with it, as well as I do a little lesson on how to make a latte as I used to be a barista. So stay tuned for that. If you're new here, hi, my name is Meredith. I do all kinds of hauls and unboxings here on my channel, the occasional coffee chat, cooking video, and whatever the heck else I feel like filming. So if that sounds like a good time, definitely hit the red subscribe button and stick around. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Okay, so I had a couple of things to chat with you about. I have been watching season 3 of Discovery of Witches, which I highly recommend if you have not read the book series. I highly recommend that, but also the TV series. I have watched all of seasons 1 and 2, and I'm almost all the way through with season 3. You can get it as an add-on to like an Amazon Prime subscription. I also think you can get it directly through, I believe it's Sundance Now. They have their own website, so you can do that too if you are anti-Amazon. I should be more anti-Amazon than I am, but whatever. So definitely give that a watch if you haven't. It's a really, really good show. Highly recommend. Very well done, entertaining, and smartly written, especially in the book. So I have talked about that one before, but in case you missed it, that was probably a couple thousand subscribers ago since I've talked about it. So definitely give that a try. And then my book recommendation for you guys this time around is from B.B. Easton, and it is called Group Therapy. Now, B.B. Easton has a Netflix series based on the books that she wrote. She wrote books called 44 Chapters about 4 men, and it's really good. They are definitely adult content heavy, so if that is not your jam, then you probably want to steer clear of this recommendation. However, I really, really liked her latest book. It just came out a few weeks ago. I definitely binge read the whole thing, and I was laughing out loud while reading it. So I highly, highly recommend that you give that one a go if you like a good rom-com. It made me chuckle out loud multiple times. Just really, I appreciate her humor. So give that one a go as well. Now definitely let me know what shows you are watching, any books that you have been reading. Leave me your recommendations down below, and then we can all read through the comment section, and hopefully you can find something from another subscriber as well. I love reading the comment section on a lot of different videos, even if they're not necessarily mine. It's kind of fun to see a bunch of people who are subscribed to my channel who also comment on other people's channels. Sometimes I just love getting you guys' ideas. So anyways, definitely give that a go. All right, let's go ahead and get into the footage. Here is the espresso maker that I got for Christmas that I selected myself. And so this one is from Gevi or Gevi, G-E-V-I. I'm not sure how you pronounce that brand. The power button is over here. I have really been happy with this espresso machine so far. I think it's a pretty darn good cup of coffee for its price point. I will be sure to link everything I talk about, if I can still find it, on Amazon down below in case you guys must have. Here is the grinder that I got to go with it, because usually espresso beans come whole bean. Now, these are the espresso beans I personally feel you need. These are the I'm not sure how you pronounce that. There it is, right there. And they're based in Torino, Italy. And these are the Super Crema whole coffee beans. And it says it has notes of hazelnut and brown sugar. So I really like these. I feel like you get a really creamy espresso even without the milk. So I think it's Lavazza. Lavazza? I think that's how you pronounce it. Anywho, whatever. Either way, highly recommend these espresso beans if you are into lattes and the like. Okay, so I sometimes use vanilla syrup. This is the one that I got at my local Target. And then I also really like the Ghirardelli caramel sauce for a nice caramel latte. Super tasty. And the thing that I really like about this is that you can actually tip it upside down because caramel sauce is thick, and you can actually store it this way. It'll rest on its cap. So I really like that. Also from Target. So I'll try to remember to link to that as well. Now I've already ground up my espresso beans and I just have it in this canister. So I'm going to show you how I make my lattes. So I'm going to do a double shot since it's early enough in the day that I'll still be able to sleep tonight if I do. So we're going to go ahead. It has two different sizes of these, and I forget the technical name for them. I believe I used to know at one point, but they're part of where the espresso is pressed through. This one, this taller one, is for a double shot, which is what I'm going to do. So you line up the dot with a little notch right here, and then you turn it so that it stays in place during the espresso making process. Now, in order to get a really good shot of espresso, you do need to tamp down your grounds, which I'm going to show you. And there is a max fill line on the inside of this, which hopefully is coming across on camera for you guys. So I'm going to fill this up, and I like to do it directly over the container because inevitably coffee grounds are kind of messy. And you want to make sure that when you do grind your coffee beans that you grind them quite finely, because that is part of what makes espresso great. It's a much finer grind than, say, like a drip coffee would be, or even a pour over. All right, so I filled it up a little over the line because this is what you use to tamp down your grounds. And you want to really pack them nice and firmly, because when the hot steaming water is shot through here, that's going to give you a better crema, which is that foam on top of your shot of espresso. So FYI, if you didn't know, I used to be a barista. Okay, that was in my early 20s. So, and then you slide it in, and with this, you want to make sure that you really crank it over so that it's in the locked position. Otherwise, while it's brewing your shot of espresso, it will move and this will come loose if you don't. So make sure you have it all the way over really well. And then I got these espresso shot glasses. These are double walled. I don't know if you can kind of see there at the bottom, so that when you pick them up after brewing your hot shots of espresso, you're not going to burn your fingers. And then you want to make sure to line up your cups with the two drip spots right here on the bottom. Now, the one thing I will say about this espresso machine is that it is not quiet at all. So you can do a single shot on this side or a double shot on this side, and it is ready when the little display here stops blinking. So I'm going to go ahead and brew the espresso. Like I said, it's a little bit loud. After it's done brewing, it will continue to drip a little bit for another 30 to 45 seconds, so I just let that continue to happen. One of the things I really like to do with my lattes is I actually like to microwave my mug just a little bit, because it warms up the mug, and so you're not pouring hot milk and hot espresso into a cold cup and cooling off your latte too quickly. So I just heated my mug for 30 seconds. That's what works well in my microwave. Yours might be different, so, you know, use caution. All right, so now I have my two beautiful shots of espresso. So I'm going to go ahead and pour those at the bottom of my mug. So with a latte, technically, if you were being precise about it, the shots go on the bottom and the milk goes on the top. Now, speaking of milk frothing, so this one does come with a frothing wand, which is right here, and you're going to need one of these nice little metal pitchers to put your milk in. I've put about 8 ounces of milk in here, and it is not filled all the way to the top, and that is on purpose. You do not want to do that, because as you steam your milk, it's going to create bubbles, and if you fill it too full, it will just overflow on you, and you'll have a mess. So, tip, keep that in mind. Now, I do have this is technically a meat thermometer, but you want to kind of know how hot it is that you are heating your milk. So I usually put that in as I go. So you're going to want to immerse your wand in the milk, and you're going to want to bring it most of the way to the top. So the pitcher will eventually get hot, but the handle is fine. And then you just crank it over, and it tends to be a little bit loud. And so it does make this very loud noise while you're frothing. As the pitcher starts to get warm, I just add my thermometer in there, and I'm looking to get above 140. You could even go a little bit higher than that. You just want to make sure you don't go too crazy, because you don't want to end up scorching your milk or the fats in your milk. So that's what I'm doing. Now, the difference with a latte and a cappuccino is that a latte is mostly steamed milk with just a little bit of foam on top, and then you can add whatever flavor you like. Whereas a cappuccino is steamed milk, but it's only about half steamed milk and a lot more of the foam on top. So if you want a lot of foam, you actually want to pull your wand out farther, and that's going to create more bubbles. If you want a latte, you can simply keep it all the way immersed, and that will steam your milk without creating too many bubbles. So as soon as you are done frothing your milk, you want to take a damp rag right away, because it's going to be easier to clean when it's already still warm is the milk, so that it doesn't get a chance to dry on your frother. So I have a wet rag here, and I'm just going through and rubbing all of that off. And then the other thing that I like to do is, once I'm done, is I like to actually run steam through the wand again, right onto the rag, so that any milk that's up inside of the wand can come out and be, cleaned out that way. So that's literally what I'm doing. Just make sure you don't put your hand in there while you're doing it. So now I'm going to go ahead and pour my nice steamed milk into my espresso. Do you guys have a favorite coffee mug? This is my favorite coffee mug. I like the flowers. It just makes me happy. And plus it was a gift from a friend, so that's cool too. All right. And then of course, rinse out your pitcher right away as well to make it easier for cleanup. And then I'm going to add a little bit of caramel sauce because I want a caramel latte today. And voila. Cheers, friends. For cleanup, I crank this over. You're going to want to bang this on the side of either a plastic container or your trash can to get the coffee grounds out, and then I like to turn it and wash the two pieces individually to make sure that it's really getting cleaned all the way through. So a lot of times espresso will get on this tray, so this piece actually comes off very easily. And then there's a drip tray underneath, so you can take both of those out and give them a good washing or even a quick rinse. And then the last thing I do is I take that rag that I steamed the frother onto, and I actually take that because a lot of times there are coffee grounds up on the inside of the coffee maker that don't come away with the, I don't even know what it's called, the thing with the handle. Brain freeze here. So anyways, that is how I clean it up. Again, I'll leave links to everything below.